Hey everyone, welcome to the fifth episode of my podcast show called the Mega Buster series. I am your host, Carlo Bromeo, also known as Thunder Trunks on Fightcade, NLDC Bear, RSN, and other social platforms. Our co-host for tonight's episode, we got the founder of This Is Marvel Discord, DC1, also known as Heartstillbeats. How you doing, bro?
Hey
Chen?
guys, I'm so excited for this episode again. Thank you.
Nice. Now, so our special guest for tonight, he's already known in the community with his MSP and MS Psych team. He joins major tournaments, runs tourneys, also the founder of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Facebook group. Now, from Atlanta, let's give it up for Goforbroke, aka I Mush Buttons.
Hello, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
What's up? This is Goforbroke, also known as I Mash Buttons at other fighting game community and other games I like to participate, such as StarCraft and shooting games as well. So not just fighting games.
Oh, nice. You're also into first-person shooter, huh?
Yes, I go to multiple events if possible. When granted, obviously, like DreamHack, and back then, Major League Gaming (MLG). So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Do you still
But how
play
did
now?
Now just DreamHack. So I enter here and there if they have games that I'm interested in playing.
Nice. Okay. So tell us about yourself, dude. About you were born, raised. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was born in Atlanta, grew up in Atlanta from Georgia, been here since the beginning of time, basically.
Okay. What do people call you, by the way? Alex, right?
Yeah, they call me Alex.
I see. So, what was your first fighting game that you ever played?
My first fighting game, obviously, the Super Nintendo was just Street Fighter back then. What really kind of got me into the spark was this online game, which is back then was a Flash. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It was called X-Men vs. Street Fighter Online.
Oh, okay. Is it not the very first Fightcade
No,
that was
no,
released?
no. So this is a Flash game. Back then, it was a Flash game where this guy named TMY, he created Scratch. He used it was like it was like
it's not part of Capcom. Okay.
it wasn't part of Capcom. It was just a normal guy, and he created this back in 2001, and basically he wanted to make it a fighting game of X-Men vs. Street Fighter Online his way. So back then there was only one character that we can use, which was basic Ryu, and then he added Chun-Li, and then slowly he was adding the roster from X-Men vs. Street Fighter, but it was a Flash animation, so it was like Mugen, but in a different.
Oh, kind of Mugen.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
Mugen, yeah, but it was a different kind of way back then.
I see. Uh huh.
Ah,
So
That's interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
What year
it-
is this around? I
this
never
is-
heard of that.
This is back in 2001.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is
okay.
So if you guys type in X-Men vs. Street Fighter Online or Street Fighter, it got renamed to Street Fighter Online. I'll say 2003, 2004, because there was like a legal situation with the title, with the X-Men vs. Street Fighter title, obviously. So he renamed it to Street Fighter Online because Capcom doesn't really care too much. They like to have their name out there, so they don't like to like sue people. But X-Men obviously, they're a little picky about people using their name.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
especially Marvel. So yeah, so that's why it got renamed to Street Fighter Online. So that's what I started growing up with my brother, and then we were looking for some other games, and then I went to a friend's house. And the first game that kind of triggered me to actually the FGC, well, not FGC, but into the fighting game itself was Alpha 3 on the PlayStation. So that's when I decided to buy my own PlayStation, buy my own Alpha, played it, and then I was looking for cheat codes and all that, and then I came into the other game on before GGPO and Fightcade called Meme or
May.
or Mame, I think.
Oh yeah, MAME. Yep. You got that right.
Yeah. So, I started playing games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Alpha series, and all that kind of stuff. Back then, there was even 2 versus 2 on Marvel Superhero versus Street Fighter, or Marvel vs. Capcom 1, where you and your friend can go against 2 other players. So so that's what I got into.
Nice. That's cool. So you didn't start like from, or you didn't grew up from the arcade like most of the
I
players were.
I did, but I was not going consistent to the arcades. I was more going to, the malls here and there, movie theaters that had. There was this movie theater around my block that had all fighting games. It had, Third Strike. It had CBS 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It had, SNK titles. Yeah, I mean, this was like the whole thing, the whole package. And nobody would go to the movie theater just for the movies. We would go there for the arcades,
gaming.
Yeah, it was like it was the biggest one around the block. And that was,
what year was that when you?
All
that
of
was
that.
2001, right?
Well, no, this is, I'll say, like, I start going around 2006, 7, 8, around there.
Okay.
Because I wasn't into, like I said, fighting games yet. I played here and there, but I played more like computer games, so like Counter Strikes,
first person. So,
yes, StarCraft. Brood War.
Yeah, StarCraft's pretty good.
Yeah, so I was playing a lot of games, and then obviously I was playing sports. I played soccer. I played basketball.
Nice.
I played football for a bit. So I was playing a lot of. I wasn't just gaming all the time. I was actually.
That's awesome because you're very diverse, not just gaming or just single sport.
Yeah, and then here and there I will go with my uncle. He'll take me to go play pool. So yeah, bowling once in a blue moon. So I would do a lot of activities as well.
Okay, so here's the most interesting question: how did you not discover, but how did you get into Marvel 2? Since you've already, you're very aware about that. There's already a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet going on in each mall.
Correct.
Who inspired you? Like,
okay, so
what got you into it?
When it got announced, because I was playing a lot of X-Men vs. Street Fighter or Street Fighter Online back then. And the community was amazing. It was active, but it was getting like kind of like a little watered down. It was getting to a point where the online community wasn't too fun. So when I heard about, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 coming out for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox, that's when I decided to get into the Marvel scene. Obviously, I used to go to a lot of tournaments, but I never made myself notice. I didn't go out there to say, hey, I play this game, let's play. I just go out there to just watch, learn, see what people do, what they play, and all that kind of stuff. But what got me into Marvel 2 was when they re-released it. I played a lot here and there on the arcade. Like I said, I'll go to the arcade, play around the block. But I basically picked like mid-tier characters, low-tier characters, Chun-Li, Charlie, all the basic reuse. And for me to get into it, I started playing these couple players, played against like Eddie Lee, or not Eddie Lee, but David, I think David Lee, right? Yeah, David Lee. Renike 45, he's from Texas as well. I'm trying to get him out hopefully next year at the Texas Showdown. He is an MSP player. He used to beat me all the time online. There's
where's he based in Texas?
I believe Austin or Houston.
Really?
Yes. He's a mystery guy. He doesn't like to show up. And then I used to go against this other player named Creedot, also on PlayStation 3. Another MSP player. He told me back then when I met him for the first time, he was like, "Oh, I trained Fnatic." So
Fnatic.
He trained Fnatic. So I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So then I start meeting new players like VDO, Pasadena, KHAOS, pretty much all the New York players, Josh 360, G Concept, aka Jason, also Matrix, and obviously all the players out there in New York. A couple of Florida players as well, like Mix Up. Shout out to Mix Up, rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, shout out to Mix Up.
He was teaching me a lot. So yeah, so that's how I started. It's because of Renike and Creed Dot. They're MSP play. They were MSP players, so they were just like stomping me, and I started picking up, MSP slowly. And then later on, I start meeting like people like KHAOS Dragon. He's also from Atlanta.
Yeah, I think I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he doesn't play anymore, but once in a while he'll show up on my channel just to say what's up. And then this other guy named Primo, he used to come to events. And my homie Delta also, he's in the military and all that, so he will come out and it was basically us having a session local, and we'll play for hours. We'll invite whoever can come out, and we'll play for like one full day. There's a days where I think we played like 2 days nonstop of Marvel versus Capcom.
Man,
yeah,
you got into the crack, eh?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we were playing on the 360 port, so that's what we played on back then. But Reniki and Creedot were the most one that kind of inspired me to pick up MSP, just because of how they were moving. And then I was like, you know what, I need to learn this. I need to watch some videos, and because I used to play on pad for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and keyboard as well.
Pad on the PlayStation or Dreamcast?
PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah, I never owned a Dreamcast.
Oh, you don't?
Only
later.
Later I did. Like I played. I would go to friends that had a Dreamcast, and we'll play it. Marvel 2, Power Stone, obviously, but I never like owned one. I was more like a PlayStation guy, so I had 1, 2, Super Nintendo, NES, and all the other games.
Okay.
I did not buy an Xbox until I decided to start streaming Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So that's when I bought my first Xbox 360.
Now I see how you got into MSP, because all these people that you got influenced to, I'm also an MSP player, but before I'm more of an MSS.
Yeah.
But that was back when I discovered the ROM Infinite back in 2005 because of my friend who went to the Philippines, because I live in a different island, not in Manila, so we don't have much exposure than the Manila players. But thanks to him, because YouTube wasn't that big back then.
Correct.
We didn't have any source, so all we did was just using scrub team, like extremely scrub team, like Iceman, Doom, Cable. That used to be my main team before, but until I got to reunited with my old friend from California. He showed me the website, and I was like, holy shit, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
And that's where I really got into the big investment with this game.
Yeah, what for me, like I said, Renike and Creedot did show me what MSP can do. So they're the one that kind of inspired me to start playing MSP. And that's when I kind of got into the scene, more of it online, going back to, SRK forums, asking questions. That's when I see other events that were throwing these events. And I was like, you know what? Like I said, I was going to these tournaments, but I just never made myself an appearance. I wasn't there to say, yo, what's up, guys? My name's this, and let's play. I was there just to watch, spectate, because I was doing a lot of activities.
You're still learning.
Well, not learning, but I was doing a lot of activities. Like I said, I played fighting,
sports,
shooting, sports, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's like when the game got re-released, I start learning.
That was year 2007, was it?
No,
2006?
2009 is when
Oh, 2009. Oh, yeah, my
mhm,
bad.
yep.
Mm.
It came out on Xbox first, and I think like 2 months later,
The PSN.
or 1 month later, PlayStation got it. Yep. And then I
Okay.
slowly start building my reputations. Start streaming back then a little bit. This is before Twitch was a thing.
Nice. How did you get into streaming? Like, how did you get into that
Well,
type of?
it was
Uh-huh.
I didn't really get into streaming. I'll say what kind of made me just do it was like I wanted to do my own like tournaments for the game. So final round, I don't remember what number, but 2013 is when I wanted to do. Obviously, I was streaming before that a little bit for Marvel 2 just to understand it. But what kind of got me to get more into streaming was after I decided to host my very first Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament for PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and then Dreamcast. So I can have 3 variations of player base, because there are people that doesn't like to play on the PlayStation 2, or I mean on the
Uh huh.
PlayStation 3
Yeah,
or on the
because
Dreamcast.
PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation 2 is really weird. I
Yeah,
That used to be my very first
yeah, me
game that
too.
I bought for my console,
Yeah,
and I didn't notice first when I played, but until I kind of noticed the sound effects that it feels so
yeah,
different, so kind of iffy.
yeah. Well, the
You know what I
PlayStation
mean?
2 version was audio issues, frame
Uh huh.
missing, but apparently the Japanese version of the PlayStation 2 is identical to the Dreamcast version, which I've tested
Oh,
it out.
really?
Yes. And the
Oh.
PlayStation 2 for the Japanese plays identical as the Dreamcast in arcade. The only difference, it still has the audio issues, with like
Uh
that
huh.
that squeaky. But yeah, so
Yeah, I agree on that one. But hey, that used to be my main source to do my training or my lab when I was still hitting on the arcade scene. And that's the only system. I mean, in the Philippines, PlayStation is actually the most dominant console in our country, and Dreamcast wasn't big at all, to be honest, which is the sad part.
yeah, it was the same
So,
thing for the US. I think you know Sega was too advanced, to be honest. It
uh
was
huh.
the Dreamcast was a little too advanced compared to the PlayStation
PlayStation.
and
Mm-hmm.
the Nintendo. And growing up, I liked Nintendo back then. So
Uh
I
huh.
had, you know, I bought. Well, not I didn't buy, but my parents bought was Nintendo. Then they got us the Super Nintendo, then N64, which I got a good deal out of my neighbor that he sold it to me, and then the GameCube. After GameCube, I bought some handhelds like Game Boy Color, Advance, and all that. I think I stopped when the Wii came out and the Wii U
Mm-hmm.
switches. I haven't bought any of those at all.
Do you still keep your old consoles with you, or did you
I
just sell them?
well, my families that are from El Salvador, they weren't fortunately,
Hmm.
so I kind of gave away with my brother. We gave away our consoles to them.
Oh, okay.
So, but lately I've been buying them back again. Making sure I buy
Just for nostalgia.
that and to
Yeah,
replay.
I'm
It
also I'm
just
also a
yeah.
retro gamer myself,
So
so I do collect some
yeah,
retro consoles.
I've been buying all of them, making sure it's not. Now these days it's expensive compared to back then, but
Oh yeah,
I,
like if you compare it like 5 or 10 years ago, it's like this
yes,
is ridiculously expensive.
yeah. I'm slowly getting my
Like we can't afford
collection.
it anymore.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
slowly for
awesome.
surely getting my collections. I got Super Nintendo, I got Nintendo, I got GameCube in a box, I got the
Nice.
Sega Genesis. Obviously, I got multiple Dreamcasts. I think I got like 4 Dreamcast now. Then I got
Are those
PSP.
the variations color or?
No, they're just regular stock.
Okay.
Because like I said, when I started getting back into Marvel, when I started getting into Marvel, I started collecting more Dreamcast so I can do tournaments here in Atlanta at final round. I'll bring my setups, and that way we can have multiple setup stations here in Atlanta, because there's nobody else that wanted to do it anymore. Obviously, people moved on to other games back then. So I was the one that was bringing those setups.
I see. All right. So if you don't mind, we're gonna continue with the topic. Do you have any community in Atlanta? Like, have you met the community there? I mean,
the community I have, but I don't go out too often for video games for a community. Even though there's locals here and there, I don't go. So normally I'll just hit them up just for like a regular sessions. Let's have some game sessions. Other than that, I wouldn't. I would not go to those little venues where they have like hosting and all that per week and all that. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are there any high caliber players in Atlanta other than you?
So there are a few. Poke Chop. He's also a Tekken player.
Poke Chop. He's from Atlanta. Okay, yeah, I've heard of him. I mean, I've watched his videos. He's very entertaining to watch.
Very
to be
colorful
honest.
character. Yeah.
So once in a while, I'll hit him up and say, "Yo, let's have some session." And when he's free, we'll play. He'll stream it. We'll have fun sessions.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent Marvel player.
Yeah. Yep. And also used to play. Back then, I used to play with another MSP. His name is Zachary.
Zachary.
And Too Much Damage. Eddie.
I heard of Too Much Damage. Yeah.
He's also an MSP player. So those are the two guys that I played here and there. But I was playing more Zachary a lot back then, along with Chaos Dragon, Primo, and that's it. Like I said, I didn't go too out often. And then I met they call them the grandfathers of Georgia, which is Max and ATL CPU. They're both.
Okay.
So Max he plays multiple teams, and CPU plays the Combo Fiend team. So yeah. And they're like really hard to get out. Like they when I see them at final round, it's like they will only be there just to show support, and then they'll pick up the stick to play. But other than that, they're not like
not any more competitive.
Yeah, they're not gonna hit you up and say, "Yo, let's." But who knows? Maybe with the re-release, they might come out of retirement and play for a bit again.
Possibly, you never know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit up Poke Chop soon and see if he wants to do a session this Friday or next week Friday and on the re-release and see how it does, and
that sounds good.
Have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I never thought about this. I was like just happy for the re-release, but now there's a lot of people who want to get into the game or get back into the game. So that's really exciting.
Well, yeah, we got to think about it. Dreamcast is really tedious. You got to get your board. You might not have a stick anymore, and those Mod sticks. If you want to, have a Mod stick, they're about 400, 600, unless somebody has one that it don't care about and they give it to you for $200. But then you gotta buy parts, and a lot of old school players, they don't play a Japanese parts or Korean parts. They like to play an American parts. So yeah.
So Japanese and Korean, are they like the same lever, or are they different?
I think they're different buttons, different sticks and all that. Different layout.
I think Korean is more back top, like the US back in the arcade days.
Yeah.
And the Japanese is always the ball top one.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm a ball top player because
yeah.
I mean, I grew up with the American stick, but eventually we were reintroduced with this Sega arcade cabinet, which is called Arrow City. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah.
So that's where I really have to adjust myself with that, that stick. And yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah, no, I don't like to have a big stick, so that's why I never bought myself a Moss stick. And
Mhm.
I'm not a floor guy like all the really players that
Old school, yeah.
old school that I don't consider myself old school. Obviously, I've been playing the game since 2000 at the arcades, but
Mid
not
2000, right?
no 2000. When it came out,
Oh,
of the
2000,
arcades,
yeah.
I was just not. I was not competitively, like I said, because just
Mhm. Yeah.
I was doing a lot of activities at the end of the day. I was not just playing
Mhm.
video games. Now I do play more video games only because it's just like, I don't want to play sports now, and I do here and there when I can. If there's a team that wants to play, we'll go out and play at the field, obviously. But that's in a blue moon.
Right.
That actually
Okay.
leads into the next topic, because I hear you talk about all this like different activity and sports. Are you like more like a organized kind of person? Like you like to organize events and stuff? Is that why?
When it comes
Yeah.
when it comes to event, no, I'm not an organized guy. When it comes to
Oh, really?
organized, yeah, I do. No.
Uh-huh.
I can be an organized guy, but time frame, I'm more like a slacky. If I say
Yeah.
I'm gonna, be
Mhm.
if I'm gonna throw the event at 8 o'clock, it might happen at 9 o'clock now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But
Mhm.
I was just growing up. I was just doing a lot of stuff. Obviously, you don't know what you want to do in life, so I was playing video games, sports, left and right. Went to a couple teams for the city and all that with my friends back then. So yeah, we like to do a lot of stuff when it comes to video games or playing
Mhm.
sports. Now these days we like to play just video games and go to sport games, go out and watch some games, football, college football, and then our team soccer, Atlanta United. So hopefully our team does well this year and next year.
Oh, good luck on that then.
Thank you.
Hey, Chen, I gotta ask you a question real quick.
What's up?
Do you play sports yourself?
I tried it in high school. I actually played football, but I only played freshman. My school was too far
Oh.
away, but yeah, I actually had to ride back and forth an hour each day to go to my high school. So eventually it got too much. But I liked sports back in high school.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the only guy here who's not really into sports, to be honest.
Oh no.
I mean, I used to watch basketball back when Jordan was still,
Yeah.
in his
what I used to
prime.
play. Yeah, that's what I got.
But if you're asking me like if I play basketball, oh, dude, I'm like the worst
Yeah.
out of all here.
I started off with basketball first back then with my friend Manuel. We used to play basketball all the time, and then slowly I transitioned to football, and then I was like, football was fun and all, but then I was getting more games in soccer, so then I slowly left the football and started playing more soccer and playing left and right with my friends, a lot of soccer games, to a point where I think we'll go to 3 games every week. Sometimes we'll have two games Saturdays, and we'll be going all the time. But then some of our soccer fields got destroyed. Obviously as time goes on, they start removing the parks and putting houses, apartments. So when that kind of kicked in, that's when it's just kind of like destroyed my vibe of sports, because I don't like watching sports. I'm not a big fan of watching sports. I'm not gonna sit and watch other people play. I'd rather play. But what's funny is video games is kind of the same,
Yeah,
sometimes
so
but the game, because you can connect with that. But with when you play, when you watch sports, you don't connect with players, but you connect because you're friends with that person already, that's playing competitively, and you're rooting.
And you're supporting him.
Yeah, and you're rooting, so it becomes a whole different vibe versus me watching, the pro league on, NFL, Major League Baseball, and obviously basketball. So that's why I'm more like I can watch more video games because it can be like, damn man, it gives me hype. You learn from them that you can probably do the same thing in video games, just like when I was getting destroyed by Reniki and Pre-Dot, it was the same thing. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to learn, but make my MSP a little different than theirs, So that's what got me into the Marvel scene, was because of those two, and obviously other players that I played a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of getting at, because you grew up in this like team and like team environment where you play sports, and you say you like to connect. That's why I was thinking that that's because the next topic is that you're actually the formal like the former like Facebook MVC2 Facebook group.
Correct.
Was started by you.
It was started by me, but it was suggested to me to start it. His name is Eric. He's from Canada.
Eric.
Yeah, he don't play too often, but he's from Canada. And
what
then,
year did you just
those years are blank out of my mind, to be honest. I don't.
Yeah, I know,
so
right?
I'm not gonna remember what year I started the group. I'll say I have to say 2010. Okay. I'll say 2010. It's when I started the group, because I didn't start it right off the rip when the game came out, because I was more active. And I probably didn't mention this because I used to do websites too, because of the original game that I told you guys that started with Street Fighter versus online. Yeah. So when I was going to forum like Shoryuken, that's what got me into doing websites too. So when I was joining the SRK and people were posting, and Facebook wasn't too big yet, and I think Facebook finally introduced the groups. Eric was like, hey, you should make a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 group, because back then I was a moderator for the SRK for a little bit.
You were? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a little bit a moderator just for like the Marvel and a few other sectional parts,
like Third Strike.
No, not Third Strike. I wasn't too big in Third Strike. I played here and there Third Strike, but I didn't get into the scene until a couple of years ago, and slowly getting to grinding more Third Strike. But Eric is the one that you told me to make the group, which that's what I did. So.
And did you expect that this group would turn out to be this way? Like.
Not really. Because like I said, I just created one because Eric told me, yo, create a group, because I was a moderator for the group and the SRK, so I was like, okay, which I did. And then 2013, like I said, Delta was one of my friends. Then I met Charlie Goblin. I met VDO. Trying to think who else. And I think that's it. So we became the team admin, because in 2013 is when it was my first time I was doing major tournaments for Marvel 2, supporting it. Because these majors will no longer support Marvel 2. They didn't. So
they've already introduced. I mean, back in 2011, they've already introduced UMVC 3, or should I say Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yep, and then Street Fighter 4 was popular too.
Yeah.
So
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had already kind of died.
Yeah. So that's when I started bringing my own setup. My streaming equipments. My first time going to Vegas, and that's when I started meeting
for the Evo.
Correct. That's when I started meeting a lot of players, and then slowly but surely, everybody knew about the group. Because the SRK, they're in the transition. They're like trying to get rid of the forum and all that, because of how expensive it is to maintain the forum and the loading page. So that's when like I was telling people, yeah, you guys need to come to the Facebook group. A lot of people didn't want to join because obviously Facebook group is more of a personal. You gotta.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
So yeah, so now that's why I made the group private. Is because that way, no outsider can look at people's profiles. So
Yeah.
they.
I mean, for me, because I don't like it if it's public. Like, if I want to post something that's Marvel related, and then your family's reading it, your aunties and all that, they were like,
yeah.
"Man, this guy's old. He's still playing this."
Well, it's not. It's not just that, but then they're like, "What? You're gambling? You're putting how much money?"
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
you can't be like, yo,
10
your
grand.
MSP's ass. Let's put some money on it. You can't say that. Then your family can
And
see
then
that.
and you call this person, "Hey, you pussy."
Yeah, you're just the evoker to everybody. You're cussing them out. They're like seeing the dark side of you, basically. Wow, I can't believe you're this person. But no, well, and not only that, but also it was no one's business to know how much we're putting on the line. You know what I'm saying? If you're not part of the group, then you're not gonna know how much we're putting on the line. So
Yeah.
that's and that's how the group started. And then Shirley's down the road. Zach was also added to the admin because he used to work for Microsoft. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Zach,
aware.
yeah, Zach will always help me out when I started like learning, not learning, but like getting into the Xbox community. Zach would hook me up with some, membership to play online for free. Like, hey, here's a voucher for you to hop online so you can play for a bit. And then when I do tournaments, he'll say, hey, here's a voucher you can use for someone to get a first place prize so they can get, a membership. And so, yes. And then obviously he'll tell me about his website, like all the archives and the tools to make my own mixes. So shout out to Preppy. He's
nice.
So he's the OG. He's like the father of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 community as well. Because if you look at his website, you'll see a lot of his videos that he recorded back then.
Yeah,
he's the real gut.
He's like slowly uploaded to YouTube too. So
correct. Yeah,
you guys can check it out there.
Correct. You can.
Yeah, because people right now, I mean, most of the Marvel enthusiasts, they want it convenient for them to watch. So YouTube is actually the best, the best source out there to watch some matches, especially some really old school ones like Justin Wong against Sanford Kelly.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
especially some combo videos.
Correct. All these videos from him learning the players who Yipes, Justin, Sanford Kelly is, all these Titan players. I start learning about them at the end of the day. And that's, like I said, me throwing all these tournaments slowly is what made me get to know more players down the road. Like I said, I start meeting when that 2013 Evo, like I said, I start meeting like Pasadena, Abs, KHAOS, Daryl, and a lot of players. Lalo, rest in peace, brother. So it was a good time. 2013 was like my biggest year. I also went to Romnito's tournament. He asked me to stream the New York.
Oh, Romnito's tournament. Is it the Defend the North one?
No, this is before. This is called in 2013. I believe it was November. He messaged me and said, "Hey," because he liked what I did for final round. So he asked me if I can come to New York and stream the tournament, and I said yes, I can.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I drove from Atlanta to New York. That was about 20 hours.
20 hours? Jeez,
yeah.
Is it really that far? I thought it was only like
It's 14
or something.
It's 14
Okay.
hours and a half, but I had to drive 3 more hours further south because he asked me if I can pick somebody up.
Okay.
And his name is Couscous. He's another Marvel 2 player.
Marvel player. Okay.
Yeah, but so he asked me if I can pick him up. So
Mhm.
3 hours down south and then driving back up
Yeah.
another 3 hours just to get back neutral. That's 6 hours plus your 14 hours
Man.
plus the 14 hours drive. So that was a 20 hours drive. By myself. He didn't have a license.
You're not a robot, so you gotta take breaks.
So
Well, talk about dedication there, man. I really
no
admire
rest
you for doing
either.
that.
No rest. I think when I got it, I was so tired. It took me 36 hours to drive back.
Oh wow.
After the event, it took me about 36. I had to call Enterprise and then say, hey, look, you guys gonna have to charge me for another date for keeping the car. And I forgot his name, but shout out to him. He was like, you've been renting a lot of cars from us. Don't worry about it. Just drop it off. When you get here, we won't charge you. Just make sure, obviously, you put fuel in it. And they did. I was like, okay. So I dropped it off Tuesday morning because I got back there Tuesday morning. Because I left New York around, I think I'll say Monday around 1 a.m. So I got back to Atlanta on Tuesday morning after dropping Couscous, getting back all because he was about 3 hours away from me. So yeah.
Damn.
So
I see.
driving back was like one of the worst things because
I don't know if I can still do that. I mean, the longest drive I've ever done was a few years ago, but that was when I was in New Zealand, and it's only about 10 hours from the very north of the North Island of New Zealand, and heading to the very south.
I don't mind
North
driving.
Island.
I don't mind driving. I love driving. It's one of my things because I like to go out there and explore new cities. I like to encounter new foods. One restaurant might have this
that's true.
nice burger.
That's the great thing about it.
So the only time I will fly is like if I know I can't do it in less than 15 hours, then I'll fly. Like obviously California, Vegas, and
Have you been to Hawaii?
Not yet. Yeah.
But are you planning?
Hopefully I can. I mean, Hawaii is really expensive from here.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's about 1.5 to 2,000 just for round trip. But if I can find it for a good deal, I will plan it.
Look at Trunks pushing people to hit the travel bug.
Yeah,
I know because me and Chen, we're really into traveling. Around the world.
Well, I am going to the tournament not next month, but on October at California.
So it's the Arcade Shock one.
Correct. So I'll be there. I'm about to buy my ticket. Next week, I'm going to go buy it off and be there for 2 days, Friday, Saturday, and fly back Sunday morning.
Okay. So some of you guys don't know that there's a Marvel Bros. Capcom 2 tournament that's going to be held in California. And it's going to be hosted by General Trilla. So
correct.
It's under the South Bay Mashers series. So it's going to be on October 19th, Saturday. The stream and schedule and timetable is yet to be announced. Arcade Shock, if you guys are close to that area, there's going to be some food and drinks. I think other games like Street Fighter Third Strike.
Yep. I'm also going to, I am road for that as well.
Yeah,
so
if
you
I
guys
looked it up on Google Map, actually that place is not that far from the airport. It's like half hour away.
Yeah,
half hour away.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
That's cool. So yeah, I think it's also a double elimination, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Cool. So yeah, if you guys can support General Trilla and the community, please go visit or head over to California.
Yeah, and if you guys want to know how to get into the scene, you got to learn from Alex here. Look, he met all these people when he go to events. So you got to go to the event, putting the effort yourself. put yourself out there. We're a welcome group. Everybody just love the game, but you got to go out there actually to meet the people.
Exactly.
Yeah, meet the community in general. All right, so let's carry on to the discussion. Where were we exactly?
So the Facebook group.
We're still in the Facebook group, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Chan, would you mind to pursue the discussion?
Yeah, this one is actually one that we are very interested about because we also have a Discord group ourselves. This is Marvel. And we had to deal with certain members that have toxic behaviors. I'm pretty sure you have seen those on Facebook group too. Just wondering, how did you approach that when you have encountered people like that?
Normally just kick them out. Don't say anything. Don't respond to their messages.
Oh, so you don't give them warnings like, "Hey, don't do this, or you're gonna get kicked out."
No, I don't. I don't like to sugarcoat it in any shape or form. If you're gonna, there's a level of disrespect, and then there's a level of like, all right, you're pushing the buttons, my friend. Like you can call me trash, you can call me a bitch, you can say whatever you need to. That's fine. But if you're gonna disrespect me in a way about a family member that has nothing to do with it, or you're gonna talk about someone's loved ones or whatever that's like really sensitive in a way or form, then I'm just gonna be like, bye, I'm not gonna deal with you, you're out. But
you can talk for good.
Yeah, you could talk about my gameplay. You can say you're bad at the game. Fine, that's fine, you can say that, but we can also play for money, and then we can back it up with money. But other than that, I don't comment on why they were suspended. Can they come back to the group? Yes, I'm not gonna hold it against them, what I'm saying. But if you're gonna keep pushing that button, then you can forget about coming back. You can create your own group for all I care. We've been to that situation where people were like, oh well, we'll create our own group and we will not be like lame as you, but then they have their own rules, and I'm like, okay, well, look at you guys, you got your own rules. I thought you guys were a no rule, but
was there a separate Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Facebook group, if you don't mind me asking?
In the beginning, yes, there was.
Also, there was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like I said, and to their own. So, I'm not here to force people to join my group. At the end of the day, we're here as a community. You guys are welcome to join mine, the other guys' group. Whatever group you guys want to join, that's fine. I'm a laid back guy. I'm not gonna, force anybody to join mine. If you join theirs, you can never join mine. Stuff like that. But at the end of the day, toxics. There's a level that I accept, and there's a level I don't accept. And most of the times, we try to be lenient. But keep in mind, and I'll say this because a lot of people do not know this, but Facebook has a filter, so you can say you're a dog. Guess what? Facebook will suspend you for no reason, and it's not me.
Oh, they do suspend you, not?
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
Yep, they'll mute you. They'll suspend some. They'll do something. So
even if it's a private group.
Even if it's a private group, I got a notification from Facebook. A little bot saying, hey, this person says something in your group. We have suspended him for a bit, or her, and you don't need to do nothing on your side, just letting you know. But if this continue to be an issue, your group may be terminated.
Damn.
Oh, really?
So it affect the group.
It affects the group, but we can appeal it, obviously, and I appeal it because I tried to say, hey, look, this is how we talk. We're not a sugarcoat community. We're not babies. We're grown adults in here. We know who we are. Me saying you're a dog does not. We're not trying to say any bad shape or form. We're just saying you're bad. But we can't control Facebook algorithm and how it's being controlled and how they are using their system, because it's Facebook is being watered down too. You know, back then it was you could talk whatever you want and you don't have to worry about being banned because it was your profile. It was between you guys. But now, as time goes on, they're adding all these AIs. So it's
features.
just So
some things that you can't say anymore.
yeah. Well, you can also get a while back. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been VDO. He posted Capcom picture, and the AI from Facebook detected it as
really
as infringement and all that copyright actually.
Ooh.
So his post got taken down. You know, so
just his post.
Yep, his post. So yeah, sometimes Facebook will do it by itself.
Like
I don't. I don't control it. You know.
Yeah.
So when people complain like, "Oh, my post got deleted," and then I go and look at this the activities, they'll tell me why it got removed, and I'm like, "Oh, look, you know, sorry, you posted a Capcom or a Marvel picture, and Facebook AI detected it, so it got removed. I'm not the one, nor the other admin removed that post." So, yeah.
Man, do you guys think Discord's gonna be just like Facebook, that it might also has its own AI and start to detect? How would that? How would that affect?
It could affect, right? It could, yeah. It's just a matter of filtering
time.
Yeah.
I think it's just about how much attention you get, because Facebook is so big, it gets so much attention, so you need to have some filters so it doesn't get bad press and ruin its business.
Correct.
I don't think Discord's there yet, but eventually, if it get big,
enough, it will. Yeah, I agree with that one too.
Yeah. See, Trunks, like he think the same way. Don't sugarcoat it. You're always the nice one. Remember?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I actually am.
Yeah.
We don't have to name any names, but we had a situation back when we were doing the 5v5. We had a person who was really toxic. And we were going back and forth about if we should be nice, second chances, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can. You can be lenient. There's nothing wrong with being lenient. You can, but it's like, hey, look, I can be a nice guy, or I can be an asshole. You pick your poison, and then we go from there. And that's it. And then at the end of the day, you don't need to respect me, and I don't need to respect you. So. You got to show courtesy. If you're not going to show courtesy, then why do I need to show courtesy?
Yeah.
Why
they gotta earn the respect, right? So we can. It's a reciprocal thing. Yeah. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now we have this very interesting question. I hope you're ready for this. But what is your all-time favorite and most memorable discussion or topic in the Facebook group? Like something that you always come back and had a blast reading, the comments, any kind of discussion that, that keeps you coming back. Have you ever experienced that before?
I have not. For me, I'm just like a lean back guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about just the community itself, where it leads, and what I can do for the community. And what the community can do for me. I'm not asking nothing in return at the end of the day. Like an example, like I started, streaming, throwing tournaments. Again, I did it for the community.
Side tournaments, yeah.
I did it for the community. Guess what? And again, back then, 2013, shout out to Chen Blanca. He's the one that, started final round. He gave us a dedicated room for us to throw the tournament in. He gave he gave us our own kind of little venue spot and said, hey, this is where you can this is your room. You can do whatever you want, however you want to set up your rooms, and for the tournaments, money mass, exhibition, etc. So
nice.
Same thing for Preppy. He came to me, offered me some vouchers. Cool. Respect it. Stuff like that. I'm not saying I need everybody to give me this, give me that, but it's just about what we can do as a community. Like if I'm throwing a tournament and somebody wants to say, hey, look, I can bring an extra Dreamcast, or I can bring sticks, that's all I expect at the end of the day, and shout out to Thrilla. He also helped out last night on my tournament.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
he helped out, and I didn't ask, and he was like, yo, check your message, and I did, and I'm like, holy crap. So again, shout out to Thrilla. He's also giving to the community, and that's what I like. That's what I like to see. I like to see at the end of the day give out, because we only live once. We got to enjoy what we can,
and we're at the age of, well, not telling ourselves to retire, but
we're not at that age
the
yet.
time will come.
We're not at the age yet, a lot of people think that we're at the age. No, we got a long way, brothers. As long as you don't see yourself like
as long as you still have that passion, I think that's the right.
If you have you can still have the passion at 90 years old, but what I'm saying is, don't feel like we're already in that age. No, we're not, because I'll say this: my grandpa, when he comes here, and he passed away years ago, but when he come to the United States, my grandpa will go out here and there and rake the yard. I'm like, Grandpa, you're here on vacation. You're not here to do your, And like I said, because he likes to be activity, he'd like to do active stuff. So, like I said, if he can do that, then we should not be complaining about like, oh,
that's true.
I'm too old for this, or I'm too old for that. So you just gotta keep pushing it. Enjoy.
Man, I don't know if I'm gonna hit my 90s. You think I'm still able to block a tri jump from Magneto?
Yeah, when you might even react faster than the new guys.
Back when you were 40s,
yeah,
or 30s.
You don't even need to be able to see the screen. You just hear the sound. Just your hand.
Exactly.
There,
yeah,
right
it's already autopilot.
Right there.
Exactly.
Your mind is your macro. Your hand just automatically does the wrong infinite without even thinking. Yeah.
I sometimes I've seen on my my YouTube, those reels, shorts that comes out, and they're random. So I've seen old people play video games, like they're like in their 70s playing video games, doing pretty well. So it's not. That's
true. Yeah.
It's all about mindset. The only way you can no longer play video games, but there's other ways. But if for me, if I was to lose an arm, that's an example. I can no longer play Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to play other games, but I won't be able to play Marvel vs. Capcom or any fighting games. Or I could, but it won't be the same. Unless somehow I have a robot that can do what I used to do.
Well, maybe, possibly we can afford it. That is,
if there's a way you can figure it out, right? Like that. I know the Street Fighter player that recently passed away, Broly. Like he was playing with his mouth on the stick.
Correct.
On the
Wait,
joystick,
what?
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Broly.
Broly leg.
Yeah, Broly leg,
I read that article. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to do it, there's ways to make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can only limit yourself if you put your mindset to it. If you're like, I can't do it, then it's the same thing with your normal legs and hands. If you tell yourself you can't do it, it's not gonna happen. But like when I was learning, more infinites, I was like, man, I can't do it. And guess what? As I kept putting time, I surely start like, oh, okay, I can do it. I can start doing it. I'm still telling myself I can't do the corn go infinite, but before I hop on today's show, I was actually trying to master it still. Yeah. It's just a matter.
That's cool. At least you're still working on it.
It's a matter of
time.
It's about putting the effort time. If you don't put the effort time, you're not gonna get it done.
You're lucky Jim's not here. He's gonna go into a whole spiel about how to do the corn go and all that.
Oh, it's gonna be like a 30-minute discussion or probably an hour.
He's like, "Wow, this is the history and all the press buttons and all that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, if
Jim's our guy. But he's cool.
You gotta listen. In order for you to learn, you gotta listen. If you don't listen, you're not gonna learn. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like a lot of times you play against better players and you get scrubbed, and but you just gotta remember everybody starts somewhere. They were not always that good from the beginning. So if you just keep on practicing, you'll get there. Just don't get
Yeah,
Yeah.
discouraged.
just put the effort and time. You don't have to put 6-8 hours a day just to learn it. As long as
You can do it just like 15-minute practice
15,
a
20,
day.
yeah, a day.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah,
have to be like an hour or so,
yeah,
but yeah, you might burn yourself out,
exactly. And that's what I did. That's how like slowly I was
Uh-huh.
learning like the tri jump infinite, the
Hmm.
different variations of Magneto's infinite, because I was just like putting so many hours in, but then I decided to like drop it down and be like, you know what, let me do 20 minutes of this. And
Hmm.
then, look at videos, stop the video frame by frame, look what they're doing and
Hmm.
how it's being executed. Where I was like, okay, let me do this. And, slowly I've been teaching some of my friends on how to do infinites. I got a couple friends that
Nice.
are learning Marvel vs.
Infinites
Capcom
right now.
2.
Hmm.
Well, they're learning it, just the game itself, and I tell them, what the best thing to do, what not to do. It's not always about going in, because or else
Yeah.
you're gonna run into something that you don't want.
Well, I
So
gotta be honest with you, Alex. And it's coming from me. So I know there are some people out there who are, they think that whatever the player you are, like 5 years ago, you're always gonna be that player. Like you're never gonna get better or something. But
No.
when I see you play, Alex, I see a vast improvement from you, and I'm not gonna lie. You've been doing ROM Infinite very consistently compared to most players out there who are struggling with ROM Infinite, and then you cancel it with the Hypergrav to Super.
correct, the Tempest. Yep,
Yeah, and that's what's keeping you alive in the tournament, if you know what I mean. And look,
correct,
you're reaching top 8, and you're actually Mister Fourth Placer of Evo 2024,
correct. And
right?
well, that too. But I also feel like you just gotta understand the game a little bit, be patient sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and readjust yourself. Because, like I said, I play other fighting games. If I look back to my third strike as well, it's a huge improvement as
Mm-hmm.
well. I was getting destroyed left and right in third strike,
Uh-huh.
and my goal this year, when they announced third strike, was to hopefully make it to top 500. Or actually no, 300, because they were like over 1,000. So like, if I can win a good amount of matches, I want to make sure I can make it to top 300.
300.
And
And
yeah,
what's your place?
and I got 65 place.
Nice.
Damn.
So
See?
so
Jeez.
I was and I couldn't actually, I was close to actually qualifying for top 24 if I was to beat my last two opponents. But I
Hmm.
got nervous because I was going against a Japanese player, and she
Oh.
was she was seated number 23, meaning she was like, already really good. So my mind's like, okay, I'm going against a top
A top.
player,
Uh-huh.
and it came to the wire between me and her, because I was playing more patient than I ever was.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
and I was using a low tier character. I wasn't
Oh,
using
who was
Kent.
it?
I was using Alex. So I don't. Yeah, I use
Okay.
Alex.
Oh.
I'm like VDO. I use low tier instead of high tier.
Mm-hmm. I
So
see.
I understand a little bit how VDO feels
Video.
when
Uh-huh.
when
With the
he gets this,
struggle.
with the
Uh-huh.
struggle against Sentinel. I struggle when I go against Chung Lee's, Ken, Dudley,
Mm-hmm.
because Alex don't have crazy target combos like everybody else. So anybody, I gotta be mixed up. Last year as well, which is kind of funny at the same time, is Justin Wong was telling this guy how to go against me. He was telling me, you need to do this against Alex. And then when he was like I said, if you listen, you would do better. And guess what? He beat me. This guy that was struggling beat me to put me in the losers bracket because Justin Wong was like, you need to do this. This is really good against Alex players. And I was like, but now looking back at it, I'm like, okay, now I can play different on how I approach a player with this character rather than go in there. Because if you go in there, you're going to get punished. You don't learn it if you continue to do the same mistake. But if you slowly learn from your mistake and improve in that area, you would do better. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I keep telling everybody. I even tell Jim sometimes when I watch his videos or when he's playing. When I join the Discord channels here and there, I'm like, yo, Jim, you need to stop doing this. Stop going for that. Just do this, and then you will successfully kill this character more than what you're doing. It's fun to do flashy combos, right? It's fun. Trust me,
it does,
I like to do it, but in a tournament, you wanna place, you wanna win. You want
to be more practical.
Correct. You want to do more practical. You want to make sure you're not dropping it, and you want to go to the next round. Yeah. So hopefully my mission is to do well at the tournament in October. So that's my job, is to make sure I win good amount of matches against a lot of California players. I want to do well in there.
There's a lot of
my mission is to make it to top 8. That's my goal.
No, that's awesome. That's also been my dream, to be on the top 8 one day, but hopefully I get there.
Yeah, it's all about putting the effort and watching your videos if it's available and see what you did wrong. Making sure your stick is up to par.
Oh yeah, make sure your buttons are, they're working properly. Because if one of your dashes is not working, like they're not pressing simultaneously, that's gonna be a big problem.
Yeah, and you don't want to go with a bang. You rather go out there and make sure you walk with a W. You're happy. Like I said, for me, when I managed to qualify the second day for Third Strike, it was a big relief because I looked at the projected little start GG, how it tells you how you're gonna do. So my mind's like, okay, I'm gonna lose to this Kin player because this Kin player he's been managing top 8 at major tournaments. So he was in my pool. So I was telling myself, okay, this guy is that's gonna beat me. But I feel like I was more comfortable with everybody else because I was like, I never heard of them. I start looking YouTube videos to see if I can pull records of these players, who I'm gonna go against, and I couldn't find any videos. So my mind was like, I'm gonna do well. But then I came across, I think, my third opponent. He was a Dudley player. He's from Chile, and my friend that I grind and play with all the time because he's local. We played all the time. And again, like I said, everybody's different when it comes to their gameplay. Just like MSP, everybody has a different MSP. He had a different
MSP style.
He had a different Dudley style. He was patient. He was not attacking because obviously if you attack, you have the option to parry. So he too owed me, and I was like, oh man, now I'm already in the losers bracket. Now I got to do 3 more matches to get out. And now my mind, I'm in a loser. I'm going against this real player. Now I'm choking because now my mind says like, I can't lose.
You feel the amount of pressure that you're going through.
You got this whole mindset like, oh my God, I'm in the losers. If I lose to this guy, I'm out for good now. And then I beat him.
I also have that mindset too.
And then I beat the real player, and then I beat another player. And then I went on stage to do my last match to get out of the pool, and I went against this Ken player, and I was lucky because he even said himself, and he was doing well too. But the reason he also lost is because he don't have Alex on his side. So he's from France, and he told me, "Oh, we don't have Alex players over here, so I don't know what to do against Alex players."
Okay.
So he didn't know how to deal with my attacks. He didn't know how to parry some of them. He didn't know this and that because all he goes against is just Ryu, Chun-Li, Young, Yang, Urian. But he does not. And he was asking me like, "Hey man, how big is your scene in your state?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not that big, but we travel to other cities, other states to play this game, and we get a lot of gameplays." And be like, "Oh, okay," because we're from France, we don't get that. We barely just got some of the actual hardware, the CPS3 at our country, and we're slowly building our community. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Wow, that's good," because if you build your community, you can level up together, you can improve, you can go to other countries and represent your country. So yeah,
this is really an awesome discussion that we're having right now. It's still, even though it's a Third Strike discussion, but it still correlates to Marvel as well. For instance, if you're facing like Mad Drew and you're not familiar with his Dulcim and Anacharys, so you're gonna have a taste of his.
Correct. If you don't understand, the character, then you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, you're mostly exposed to like the top tier teams like MSP, Sandtrax, but you stumbled across this very odd team that you've never encountered before, and then he starts beasting on you like, "Oh no, I'm not sure what I'm going to do," or something.
Madru, when he started with Anacharys, right, he's really good at the start off. If he start Anacharys, you can't start with crouching like kick with Magneto, because he does that little float overhead.
Normal jump, crouch, low kick.
He did.
Short.
I do the short, but he does the little overhead jump with Anacharys, and then it's a wrap. He'll set up the mummy, and then there's nothing you can do. You can't mess out of it unless he messes up the combo, but he doesn't mess the combos anymore. He has improved a lot, compared to many years ago. Same thing with X Prominence. I back then when he started playing too, and we'll play on no DC, I was like rushing to him to the point where he couldn't even play. Now I got to be careful against his Iron Man, because he will one touch one kill you. So
he's Iron Man, Strider, and Akuma.
Yeah,
or sometimes Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and the Akuma, it's so random, and because you don't go against that assist, it throws you off to a point where you're like, oh
yeah,
man.
Especially if he corners you with that Akuma assist, Tatsu. I'm not really good at names, but that multiple kick, so it takes you a while to get out of that.
Exactly.
That he can block string,
he can high low. Yep. And that's why I added my variation of Cyclops, because he also does have that little block string. And then you got to think about, okay, do I need to block high? Do I need to block low? Because Cyclops is also, you got to block low, but then I can go overhead, but then you got to block overhead. But then you got to watch out for my crouch, because Magneto's pretty fast at low crouch, and then I can just go from there.
I see.
What do you do? Do you use MSP most of the time and then just pick Cyclops or counter pick some other teams?
So this comes to about leveling yourself up. So I picked Cyclops 2 reasons. One, work without an anti-air assist to see how I do with Magneto and Storm without anti-air.
Yeah, because Magneto and Storm, if you're an MSP player, you really rely with.
Well, it's not just that, but you wanna find ways to improve yourself on how to escape without an anti-air backing you up.
Mhm.
You want to get out there without depending on the assist. All right. So that's the
Yeah.
reason I picked Cyclops. Second,
Mhm.
I picked Cyclops is because I was working on my Tri Jump Infinite with Storm, and
Oh, okay.
that was the other reason. But now sometimes I don't need Cyclops to land the Infinite with Storm. Now I
Mhm.
can, like, if I catch you raw tagging, I would do the Infinite perfectly on you,
Mhm.
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 but it's
You mean
just that's the
you mean
reason I
the
play.
ground? How Cyclops help you with the ground? Like the super jump infinite.
Because you're standing up, so it has the character standing up, and it allows you to try jump with Storm, the normal try jump infinite.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
that are you gonna stick with Cyclops or always just MSP for the top eights?
MSP, it depends. If I'm going
Depends who
against,
you're up against, right?
if I'm going against like Cable, Sentinel, and Cyclops, I feel like I can start off with MSC instead of MSP. Uh, p-
Okay.
yeah, yep. Yeah, because Cyclops is really good at, he has a good amount of block stun.
Mhm.
So I could cross you up and you're in a block stun, and if you call your assist is getting hit while you're blocking, and then I can either high or low you and then double snap. And sometimes Cyclops clip comes out too fast to the point where you and your assist can get hit, and I can double snap, you know, and go from there. Big punish.
Hmm.
I see. Now
Hmm.
it explains
I'm
why.
still I'm stealing writing notes and stealing tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not
This
try
is
explore
this is this
MSC,
podcast
friend?
is my whole reason to steal tech from top players.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see the thing about, like, with Psylocke is that she pops you in the air, right? To give you whatever you need to do for the
Like,
double snap. But with Cyclops, you're in a block stun position where I can now mix you with high or low.
uh-huh.
So and or I can cross you up and high and low you while you're blocking Cyclops. Now you got to deal with the opposite side, and I'm crossing you up.
Mm.
So yeah.
The anti-air assist hold them for that long that you can cross them up.
Just Psylocke, Psylocke just launches you in the air,
Yeah, yeah.
right? While and you can block him. That's
Cyclops.
it. You can block Psylocke, but with Cyclops, you're in a block stun situation. He hits you for a few seconds. You gotta block, and then I can put layers, and that's why you gotta worry about if I'm gonna go high or low, and
Mm-hmm.
and then I could call Cyclops again to put you back again on a block stun situation, where I can high low you, or I can just grab you and then just go from there.
Yep, and I'm one of those victims. You got me like plenty of times.
Yeah, well, because at the end of the day, Psylocke is there to keep the character from flying, Sentinel, Storm, or any
Yeah.
character from jumping. She's there to protect you from players that are jumping. But Cyclops is really good against characters ground, yeah, because
Yeah.
I can, like, if it's just Cable, if you have Cable by yourself and I have Magneto, Cyclops, I can come in standing jab and you're blocking standing, but Cyclops comes and he catches your legs because you're just blocking standing. Now you get hit by the crouch because of Cyclops, and then I could just go in there and go for the Rom Infinite, or I can do 5 Fears and then mix you up again from there.
Right. Okay, so before we continue with the Evo 2024 moment you had, how about we discuss about how you discover Fightcade, Null DC, and RSM?
So, no DC is nothing new to me. I used to play no DC, but back then it was a little bit different. With my friend, we will have to share IPs in order for us to play against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But then I believe, was it named Dr. Fatbody? He posted about No DC Bear,
Yep.
and then that's when like I investigated a little bit, reach out to Rosen X, and start chatting, trying to see how we can improve the game. And from there, that's when like I started like creating video. I created an introduction on how to install No DC. After that, it started picking up. People didn't like it because you had to download Radman and it's a VPN, and they didn't like it. Apparently it was messing up the internet. It didn't do anything to my end, so I don't know.
Do you remember what year this was when you discovered?
The No DC Bear was about 2 years ago, I'll say.
Okay, 2022.
Yeah. It was about
2021. Okay.
2021, 2022, about that
somewhere
year.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Fightcade. Well, Fightcade was just a replacement of GGPO. So GGPO was a platform where you can play fighting games. Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, the Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
But the brothers, the Canon brothers, they licensed their GGPO, because GGPO is actually a netcode source that anybody that can use for their video games, for fighting games, or for any games actually, for rollback if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But because they were also evil owners, they didn't want to like maintain evil and GGPO. So I don't know who the guy is or who the devs are but when GGPO said we're shutting down our platform, there's a new company, not new company, I'll say a new platform is taking over, which is Fightcade. So Fightcade replaced GGPO, and then that's when I started like playing Fightcade, then No DC, and then RSN
came later this year. Was it this year, right?
Well, RSN been out for a while, but they introduced online this year, and so they introduced online plays, and I think they introduced Marvel vs. Capcom as one of their first, not the first, but like kind of like another way to play it. So so that's how RSN came to Discovery for me as well, which in my opinion is the best port for rollback versus Fightcade.
Yeah, sadly it is true, because Fightcade, it has this input issues most of the time. I mean, there is some improvements recently with their rollback, right? But
yes and no.
Yes and no, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let me break it down.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, and it's just it really boggles me that people don't want to listen. Okay.
Well, we're here to listen. It's your
your
episode.
If you connect to 5K, right? And I challenge you accept Flycast, which is the new emulator, will tell us to pick a delay. Okay, you see that it tells you to select a delay.
Yeah,
you
0,
can pick
1 to 9.
Yeah, you can pick 0. If I pick 2, I'm messed up, because now I got 2 input delay extra. You're at 0. But online is trying to like understand and see, hey, well, this guy chose 2, you chose 0. How can we neutralize this to make sure that number 2 doesn't get messed up too bad? But but then it runs smooth. But if we restart the game again and we put it both at 0, then it's really choppy, right? Because there's no reason for for it to say if we both have 90 milliseconds delay, if we're 90 millisecond and it's telling us input should be 0, that is wrong math, my friend. There's no way that you're almost at 100 milliseconds that we should be at input 0. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, what? You can't have a perfect delay of 0. No way does that work online. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. And that's why, like, it just feels weird. And but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna take a salt of grain and just accept it. But that's why, like, when I play like a few players, like a couple weeks ago, I played with Jock 360 on Fightcade. We couldn't even, it was unbearable. It was so unbearable. We were like, yo, what the heck is going on? You know, but we played back on No DC. I was like, oh my God, this feels great. You know, for granted, we were playing on input 1. It felt good, but it's just so bad. Again, I'm not trying to discredit the devs for FlyCast. They put a good job in it, but they say they did a good job with the rollback, which is still not that great in my opinion. You can't say that we both have 0 inputs. You know, and I tested this with my friend. You know, he's from Virginia. We played on No DC, and we had good sessions, but we played Fightcade last week, and man, his ping was telling me he's 23 to 32 milliseconds, but on Flycast is saying 70 to 90 milliseconds at 0 input delay. We were dropping combos left and right, and I'm just like, man, my God, what is this? So, but then I connected his computer, and I found that his upload was only 2 megabytes, and I'm like, yo.
So that's also the other factor.
So I was like, oh man. But what's funny is that his connection at that does better on No DC than Fightcade.
Which is very odd, huh?
Yeah. So I was just like, wow. So for now we can't play. Hopefully he's supposed to have a service.
Have
call
you guys
tomorrow.
tried on RSN? Have you guys tried on RSN? No.
He doesn't like the PlayStation version. So, but he's gonna get his internet fixed tomorrow. So hopefully they give him the speed that he deserved, and then we can try it again. But he's definitely gonna buy the collection. So that's what cool. We're looking. Yeah. So that's what we're looking forward to.
I think everybody's trying to look forward to the collection to see if the online play can just replace all these other platforms, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I gotta give you a shout out, because like every time there's a new way to play Marvel, I think I heard it first from Goforbroke. Like RSN, I never heard of it until you post about it. I think you're the first one to post.
I wasn't aware about that too.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get one for the Xbox version. I don't know if you heard, but a couple months ago.
Yes, I've heard about that one, but I don't know. There's too much versions now. Like
it was too complicated. It was too I gave up on it. Well, I didn't. I did not give up on it. I didn't put the effort that I should have, because I didn't have nobody to test it with, and the instructions are not that clear. The emulator's not that clear. For Frankie, I don't remember what I put the folder. I got to look for that folder and maybe try again. I don't know, but we'll see.
I mean, is there a point to try it eventually? Because we got the collection coming out, so might as well wait for the collection, you know?
Well, if they're messing with the collection, such as like Unblockable with Sentinel, you know,
that's
Doctor Doom.
I worry about that the most.
So maybe we'll see. You know, it could change.
Because if they try to fix too many things, then it's not a Marvel anymore. I feel like, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They should reach out to us, not to some random dude like, oh, I don't like this Unblockable. It's cheating, but it's part of the game. Which makes it fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. But my plan, the plan for me, I might do a 24-hour stream on the game. Oh, wow. But we'll see. Yeah.
Man, no sleep, huh?
No sleep. It's been a
Cool.
been a minute.
All right. I'm pretty much sure I'm gonna tune into your stream.
Yeah, I'll be working that day, but I'll tune into your streams so you can test out everything.
It's gonna come
and
out.
see
It'll
how
be
you gonna say about it.
unless you're working at midnight on Thursday. You guys should be able to see the stream anyways.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
It should be around, I think, 11.
It'll be 11 p.m. for you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stream as soon as the games drop? Is that what you're gonna
Yeah,
do?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
work
be-
night shift.
yeah.
I'll be watching at midnight.
yeah. I'll be streaming it. Yep.
Nice. So yeah, I think 5K is people play on it because it's like the most simple version to play the game. I feel like there's not much like complicated setup like no DC and RSN. So I
Well,
think that's
both all of them are straightforward. The problem is, Fightcade has a lobby where you can chat and interact,
Yeah, that's a great thing about that.
but no DC and then RSN. You gotta message people and say, "Hey, I'm creating a lobby on Discord," and then they gotta join you.
That's the only down thing about RSN, because there's no way you could reach them unless you guys are in the Discord group or something,
Yeah,
or
but
Facebook.
But the problem with the Fightcade also is sometimes I message players, "Hey, who wants to play?" But then they're like, "Oh, I play low tier," and then they're like, "Oh, well, never mind." Or you go against somebody that doesn't say anything, and then you pick MSP or a Thrax, and then they leave the game, and then you're just like, "Wow, well."
Oh,
never
do
mind.
they?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah,
And there are some people who are actually online, but they don't actually respond to you. Like, they just completely ignore you. So that really
Yeah.
pisses me off. But they can just put it on, like, like offline mode or not available at the moment.
Exactly, and that's one thing I hate too. People That's
Mhm.
why it's like there's like 300 people in this lobby, but nobody's playing. And if they are playing, then it's just like they're playing low tier, mid tier,
Yeah.
which is fine and all, but I'm not here to play it. Like, if I want to play mid tier, I will play it here and there.
Mhm.
But these days, I just want to keep improving my MSP or other teams I'm working on.
Mhm. But how about if you guys are on practice mode or having a lab session? Which platform do you guys prefer? For me, I prefer null DC.
I use no DC.
100%.
I use no to practice.
For
Yeah, because you can
Yeah, that's
control
what I
the
use.
second player with the no. I
Yes.
used to practice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do
And
a
then the
little
new null DC version, this has this cheat mode on where you can just set Sentinel's refly or his glitch.
Yeah.
So that's also a huge advantage on that one. And same goes for other characters that has flight mode glitch, if you guys know what I mean.
Correct.
Is that actually like a option you can turn on? Or it's like you gotta download the.
There's an option already that you can
Oh
just
really?
yeah unlike the manual thing that you have to like get hit during airborne.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get what's the right word for that? Like anything that directly hits you to the ground right away. Like, if you know what I mean.
Knockdown?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knockdown. There you go.
Yeah, knockdown.
Yeah. Now, for 5K, I only play it honestly just for the rankings. I love the rankings, bro.
I tried to play ranking, but like I said, a lot of players
Ditch.
either they ditch and then it affects your score, or
Yeah, that's
The-
annoying. And I
But-
find that sometimes 5K actually glitch and add to your score. And then one time it happened to me, it glitch and add to my score and think that I won. And then it automatically exited. And then when you actually go to the main chat, it say you never finished the matches and you get deduct points or whatever.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah, I couldn't even do it. It's like everything's automatic,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, sometimes if the game crashes while you guys are on rank mode, man, that really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Especially you guys are in a
yeah, yeah.
really good competition.
No more 5K for me. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
just
You're
go
done.
collection. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm also done. I'm okay with what rank I'm currently right now. So yeah, that's that. And then we only got like several days to go till is it
Yeah.
several days?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, several
so
days.
4 days.
Thursday. Jeez, it's getting close, man. I haven't pre-ordered mine yet, to be honest.
I
better start
pre-ordered
doing
mine
it.
a long time.
I
Once
just pre-ordered
once
mine
I-
on Steam yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I pre-ordered mine on Steam a couple days ago. There was a 15-20% off through this website.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Is it not a scam?
No, because I got the
Oh,
code.
it's legit. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I paid like $37 for the Steam.
Whoa.
Yeah, so pay $37
still
for
have-
the Steam.
Do you still have that code?
No, I tried it
Damn it.
yesterday. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, I tried it yesterday, but
No.
they have 6% off. So you instead of paying $53 with taxes, I think you pay like $45. So you save you about $10, almost $10. It's still not bad, but you
Come
know,
on,
hey,
Sean.
guess
That's
you're right.
one less
Uh-huh.
burger. Just support the game. One less burger for you. That's all.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
Did you
we're-
did you ever join any tournaments on these platforms?
Normally the tournament that Smooth Viper or Jason, AKG Concept,
oh, okay.
Matrix, that they'll throw, I'll join.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll message me though, like, yo, you want to join this tournament?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but I don't join any. I join randomly, those ones on 5K, but like I said, it's just not a fun experience. It's like, it's
Yeah.
unbearable, and you get
Yeah.
tilted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get extra salty when you lose, and it's not your
Yeah,
fault.
especially if you messed up your inputs and
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't give you the inputs, and you're just like, wow, thank you.
I found that I really can't dash that well on 5K. It's like the two simultaneous button. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think also it's just, I don't know. I can't speak for them, but I think they're being cheap on the server, to be honest. So maybe, I don't know if you're on Patreon and you get your own lobby, it might be better than a public lobby. I don't know. But because even when I play other games like Third Strike, I play people that has less ping and it's unplayable. I mean, it is so unplayable. I'm thinking to myself, why is this game so unplayable? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do agree.
they're-
I think they try to do savings.
So when there's a days where you can't log in to 5K,
Yeah.
you're gonna see and be like, wow, why is this lobby not loading up? It's because their lobbies overfilled somehow. When they announced the collection, did you see how crazy
It
5K
got so many people on.
it had close to
Oh,
almost
yeah.
1,000
100,
people,
right?
no,
1,000?
1,000. Yeah, it was like 700 and away, and like 200 were playing.
It's crazy. You couldn't see, usually you can see the list of players, and then like on the bottom you can see who's playing. The list of players got so long, I had to keep on scrolling to see who's playing, because there were so many people logged on.
Yeah.
But looking at now, it's back to normal.
Yeah, it's back to normal.
One weird thing I found, I do recordings for my channel, right? And I look at the replay. They actually, I think they try to save money, and if it's like a really old gameplay, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, how it doesn't record the actual video, it just record the inputs of what's going on. So like it erased the inputs. So when you actually watch the replay, you just see two people standing there doing nothing after a while.
Huh.
Yeah, like they just like doing nothing. Like
Yeah,
you'll play
they're
for like
most
a
likely
minute.
having a chat or something.
No. This is like everything. This is
Oh,
like everyone.
really?
No, it's not. That's what I thought at first. I was like, they are talking for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I think the game they try to save money, so they don't save the input after like a few months. So like when you watch a recording, it just two people just standing there doing nothing after a while.
Yeah, and you got to think about it, right? Because
Yeah.
when you play rank, also if you get disconnected, it creates a file. So all these files are just accumulating.
Yeah.
Every day it's accumulating
Mhm.
a file. It might be 0 kilobytes or it might be 0.0001 kilobyte. But if you think about it, every day it's adding.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
taking
lot.
up
Yeah.
it's taking the storage, and yeah, it could be a tedious thing.
I just think it's funny because I remember sometime I watch Thunder Trunks play because he's a social butterfly. He'll always try to talk to the
Social
people.
butterfly.
You always try to talk to the people while you're playing them. So I thought that's what happens. Like these two people are talking, but then I'm like, everybody's doing that. It can't be. Then I was like, oh, they must have just not saved all the inputs after a while. I think that's just a funny thing I thought recently. Yeah.
So our topic for right now is gonna be the top 3 Marvel favorite moments. So these moments that really catches you, like, in a way that you want to revisit it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you watch, but it's like a golden, a golden set or match or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like for me, when it comes to top 3, number 1 I would really pick is Dark Prince versus Clockwork. Yeah, you're wondering why I chose this set, because it's the build up,
Yeah.
and then the personality of Dark Prince as being like the pessimist of Noel, like the villain of the community.
Yeah. That was very hype.
Yeah. Like even right now, I think I've watched this like 100 times. Like there are moments like if I'm, let's say I'm not in I burnt out playing Marvel. I kind of quit. There are times that I've quit Marvel, not playing it for like a couple years or so, and then
yeah.
there's just one thing that I always watch: it's Dark Prince versus Clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so good just seeing how Clockwork, teaches this kid
Yeah.
that he's not a washed up veteran.
Wait, I thought Dark Prince what team was he using? I don't remember now. Was he
He's
Santhrax?
using Scrub, right?
Oh, Scrubs.
Yeah, he Scrub.
Scrub clubs?
I can't recall too much. It's been a
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a minute since I watched those videos and what teams they played and used. But for me,
Yeah.
these are my moments. Will be what I hosted and what I've been to, not like what I've seen on videos, because there's no connection. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
you have your
Sure.
personal
was
moment there. Yeah.
Yeah. So my first one was actually again, this is 2013, when I was hosting my tournaments, along with ABK at that time. And for those who don't know who ABK is, it's
who is he?
King, Airbrush King.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
yeah, because when I talked about it, he about hosting the tournament back then, he's the one that messaged me and said, "Hey, I can help, blah blah blah," and so he also helped out with the tournament. And then my friend Delta, he's the one that put half of the money, and myself put half the money to get a salty suite at final round.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we had the Josh 360 versus Neo tournament. So that was one of my top favorite sessions. Favorite Marvel 3 moments was because it was a good. I'll say I had about 40 plus people in my room.
Wow.
Because the first night we got there to the venue, I had a couple people. Josh 360 was in my room. Akeem was in there. Nick Guy was in there. A couple people, and we had security come to our room saying, "Hey, you guys are too loud."
Mm-hmm.
There's
did they?
Yeah, they kicked us out.
Oh, really?
They didn't kick us out. They kicked my friends.
Some
out.
of the okay.
Yeah, the people that could stay were the people that were in that room, which was myself, Nick Guy, and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see.
We were on the fence that maybe we can't have the salty suite. So I talked to the hotel room, and they're like, "Yeah, we got a room, but it was really expensive for the night." So my friend Delta, he chipped in to the hotel cost, and then I put half of it. Because at first it wasn't going to go down anymore, but it did happen. And, we had the rules, we can't be loud because we don't want to. It was like after the tournament. And luckily, Airbrush King, his room was next door to ours. So at least we have this extra room where there's no neighbor.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of people in there. Justin came in there. Obviously, Yipes. Filipino or what's his name?
Champ?
Filipino champ.
Oh,
was in there. Chris G was there.
Wow,
Pierre
lots
Barrock.
of pillars.
Yeah, it's a lot of people were there. A lot of, and I think that's when my Twitch hit over 2,000 viewers.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was Josh versus Neo, and we were all trying to be quiet because my friend, his wife, again, this is John Primal. His wife had a child. They had a kid, and the baby was sleeping. The baby was sleeping in the background.
You have a kid in the room sleeping in the background while there's a salty suite going on? That's crazy.
Yeah, while the money match was going on. And
my God.
And the baby somehow slept through all of it, which was very,
that's
weird.
crazy.
Yeah. Because we're like, shh.
No, you can't pop up. You can't pop up right now. The baby's sleeping.
Yeah. And there's a good moments that really happen where even what's his name? I'm trying to remember his blank now, but he's Li Joe, I believe.
Yeah.
He's also big into the Marvel 2 and FGC. You'll see him he's a host for Evo. You'll see him.
Yeah, he's like the hype guy.
Yeah. He pops off, and then we're like, quiet, shh, because also we don't want to get the hotel guests to get mad at us and wake up the baby.
Oh my God!
But that was a good moment for me.
This is a crazy story. I love it.
Yeah. And then my other moment was again 2013, my first time Evo, where it was it was KHAOS versus Sanford Kelly.
Okay.
Again, my salty suite along with Delta. Again, Delta is also, that's why Delta is big part of the team admin. He also chipped in for the costs of the event and everything for the hotel. So
shout out to Delta.
Yeah. So yeah, but unfortunately, I was really messed up. I got those tall drinks, frozen drinks, and I was really wasted. So I don't remember. I just remember me waking up saying "Yo, be quiet," while they're playing their money match, and then KHAOS won, and then I'm just still waking up. I managed to catch maybe about 3-4 matches because I was really drunk. My head was just pounding. And then KHAOS won, and then Daryl, aka World Machu, was like, "You already know who the best is." And then Cherry, for those if you don't know Cherry, she's also part of the FGC.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, he was like, you already know who the best is, and Cherry goes, nobody can beat KHAOS, and then she goes, Justin Wong, and everybody goes, oh, like little kids,
Uh-huh.
oh, but
Uh-huh.
it was
Yeah.
funny because that's I think a few months later, I think that's when Justin called out KHAOS, and that's when we saw the KHAOS versus Justin Wong.
Justin Wong. Oh,
Was it
okay.
NEC or not NEC, NorCal Regional or SoCal Regional?
Gee,
One
I
of
completely
those.
forgot about
I-
it. But
I'm
yeah, I
trying to
remember
remember
that. Mm-hmm.
But that's
Mhm.
what happened. So that's my second one, and then my third favorite one is Reloaded, and this is between Sanford Kelly and Spartan.
Oh,
Yeah, it was another
another
goodie.
East NYC California match.
Yes, another one, and again, all three of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
Oh, I think I
So-
remember now. I'm looking here on the YouTube. It's actually SCR 2014.
Okay, so yeah,
Uh-huh.
SoCal, yeah, because again, it happened the following year, because this happened at 2013 at Evo, where KHAOS beat
Mhm.
Sanford, and Justin didn't like it, so he called him out, and then obviously
Mhm.
Justin Wong won that tournament or that exhibition.
Yeah.
Then I can't recall what year the first Reload it happened, but I can't recall who called who. And then while the tournament was happening, it was Sanford versus Spartan, and
Mm-hmm.
the funny thing is they were calling Sanford for his tournament match, and they're about to DQ him because he was like kind of delaying the bracket.
Uh-huh.
But I think they're like, okay, we can skip this match and put somebody else, which they did while Sanford was finishing his match, and it was a close set. It was 10-9, and it was just one of like a crazy match for me, to be there, to stream it, and
To witness.
witness
Mhm.
all those
Yeah,
was the best experience for me to witness all.
that's awesome.
Except
Hopefully
for,
one day I
except
get
for
to
the Evo, because I
experience.
was too drunk, but I managed to catch some of the matches.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
kind of
Uh-huh.
jealous. This is like me and Trunk are just talking about stuff we see on the
Yeah, we only
videos,
see on the videos.
but
on
you're like
YouTube.
personally
or
experiencing
Zach D.
this, Yeah.
Yeah,
then-
witnessing it.
Yeah, it's all about like you can watch it and enjoy it while it's live, while you're broadcasting it, and you get to see it on your end of the TV. But that's the reason why, like I said before, like why I don't like to watch sports. I'd rather play the
Mhm.
sport, is because you get to
And being there.
you get to experience it. You get to enjoy the hype. You get to be
Mm-hmm.
in person. You get to feel that vibe energy where you can watch it. You can still have the same energy, but the energy level is a whole different atmosphere when you're there versus sitting down and watching it with your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't. It's there's hype. Don't get me wrong. There's hype,
Mm-hmm.
but the hype level of you being there, seeing the expressions of others, the witness of like, holy crap, I can't believe this just happened.
And the
how
crowd, the huge
the
crowd, right?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then going out to go celebrate, it's a whole different atmosphere, because
Mm.
at that time also, like like I said, I think Sanford got second place at that tournament because he lost to Justin Wong. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And KHAOS got third place or fourth place. I can't recall the placement. It's been a while. So those are
Mhm.
three of my favorite top.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
I think they're my favorite now too.
Yeah.
Well,
gotta-
there's so many. There's tons and tons of events that
Yeah.
are really good. But yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that really stands you out, like you just wanna
Yeah, you could, there's
rewatch
there's-
it.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's the
wa-
time value for me.
Yeah, I was there when KHAOS versus the bots. It was a good.
Oh,
that was a good.
yeah.
That was a good session too when I was there.
The combo breaker.
Yeah, the combo breaker. Yeah, I was
Mhm,
there.
2019.
Yeah, that was my first time also combo breaker going there. It was fun.
Yeah,
But
that's actually the set that really got me back into Marvel while I
yeah,
was away for I
yeah.
don't
Oh
know how many
really?
years
I
was
don't
it?
think I ever watched
Yeah.
that. Who was that? The bot?
He's
So
Chaos is facing against 5 East Coast players,
Oh,
and he
oh,
bodied
oh, oh.
every one of them.
Which
so
five?
so BA it stands for Battle of the Strongest.
I know
Uh,
that. I know that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it was whatever they hosted. I think the five that were the was the Battle of the Strongest of those selection was Chris,
Chris Matrix, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Josh 360, Josh Wigfall.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember who else was in there.
Let's
Was
see.
Desmond there?
Yeah,
Was there?
Desmond. I think he was there. Yeah.
Executioner.
Desmond, and I think there was one more.
Here, let me look for
Yeah.
that.
But
Yeah,
it
that really
wasn't.
got me into
There
back
was
into Marvel.
not no Yipes, no Sanford, no Justin in those five.
No Titans.
Justin was on a separate set.
Well,
He was there.
Justin was there only because they hit the goal
Forced
of
him,
the donation of the Max Arena.
Okay, I see.
Let me see.
But
Yeah.
2
2019. Let's see who it was.
We're all looking here on YouTube,
Yeah,
right? Oh man.
Because there's only so many top New York players. Was it Mike Infinite? No, that's the only other one I could think of.
So you haven't seen this yet, Chen?
I heard of it, but I don't think I ever seen it.
I think
It's
really
Chaos
see it.
versus 5 of those people. I never seen that one.
I think it was just 4. It was just
was it 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to, I think it was just 4. Yeah, because it was just Josh 360, Desmond,
Chris
Josh
Matrix,
Wigfall, and Chris Matrix. Yeah.
So Sanford was on a different set too, right?
Yeah, and then yeah. That's it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, when you have time, Chen, you really need to see it.
Well, they're like right below the top 3 in New York, and right below them are those 4. So, because I don't think GCon was playing at that time, right?
No,
GCon was in the Battle of the Strongest, but he just didn't come out to. I don't think he was there. I don't remember seeing him. Maybe it's been a minute, obviously.
We gotta have more of those. Maybe the connection can bring all that back.
Well, with this new remake, they're thinking of bringing Battle of the Strongest again.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Hopefully,
who knows? Hopefully, they can make it the Evo event next year, like the retro event for it. Like this year was Third Strike.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a 50-50 because now they announce CVS 2, so who knows? We'll see. Yeah.
Damn. That.
All right.
All right.
All right. So now we're done with the top 3 Marvel favorite moments from Goforbroke. Can you discuss us about your recent tournaments you joined this year, like the Retro Rampage? How did that tournament go for you?
So all these other tournaments I joined were just like locals that my friends hit me at the last minute to join. So, if it's like reasonable drive, I'll go and support local events, even if it's like a 2-3 hour drive.
Oh, so this is in Atlanta, right?
No, this was I think Tennessee was.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah. So because we were advertising our first tournament back in Atlanta called Max Mode. So my friends went out there to put some banners, and tell players from Tennessee, hey, look, we're hosting a tournament in Atlanta called Max Mode. Come out and support it. So that that's what we're doing. So that's why I went to Retro Rampage, and they're like, hey, let's because my friend was running it. he put Marvel 2 because he knew I was gonna go out there. So
Oh, okay.
so it was just like a last minute little local section.
Yeah.
So how
it
many
was just,
players joined?
I think about 8, 9 around
I
there.
see.
Yeah, like I said, because
On the spot. Yeah.
it was on the spot. We're advertising other games. That's what they're. They only did it for me.
Oh,
Just
that's
to
so sweet of them.
accommodate. Like I love Marvel too, so they're like, yo, let's see. So there's a guy that he's in. I think he might be in your Discord channel as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to
What's his
remember
name?
I'm trying. I think it's like Robot or Robo Cop. I think Robo.
Oh yeah,
RoboCop?
yeah.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
our Discord.
Yeah. So I met him. I've been giving him some tips and all that here and there, showing him what to do, how to prevent from being guard broken, and all that kind of stuff. When to put yourself on flight mode with Magneto so you don't get guard broken. So I've been giving him tippers here and there. So like I said, I when I meet new players, I try my best to
Help them.
help them out, see what they
Nice.
because when I played against they're players that were playing top tiers, but when they play against me, they're like, holy crap, this guy is like freaking fast. Like even when I watched the VOD and the replays of the stream, they're talking about like, I wonder how he's gonna do against this Magneto, because I didn't know what to do against his Magneto. And I'm like, so it's like it puts everybody in a different perspective of how they are gonna react to this player. What is he gonna do that maybe he should have done in the first place against me? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I should have dashed back. Maybe I should have challenged his crouch. Stuff like that. All of this is about like the mindset of your opening. So that's why, like, Robo messaged me and said, "Hey man, what do I need to do against you?"
Whoa, that's cool. He really approached you. Some players actually get intimidated to speak up with, high caliber players. So
so I was just like, hey, it's a 50-50 when it comes to mag versus mag with a switch glitch. If you don't have a Psylocke, or the best thing is you don't want to contest me we can both start with crouching when we're gonna trade, right? Because we're starting at one frame. Or I can just avoid your crouch and jump dash you and call Psylocke and snap you out, But it's all about like understanding your players and what you need to stop doing and what you need to do to make sure you don't have to have like executions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you can do good damage and put yourself back in neutral, and then you can do better. You can improve your gameplay. You can win here and there.
Right. That's cool because you're helping out a player out there that wants to.
That's why I notice about all the veterans players. They're like very good about helping newer players to get into the game.
Like some people, they just want to body you and then start trash talking you. It's not like you got punk.
Well, you get that too, but I feel like all the one that are like stay in the community for a long time generally want to help out with like how our boy Jim had the whole freaking veteran community helping him improve. Alex do, Chris Matrix do. It's like everybody's helping Jim become a Marvel monster.
Yeah, it's getting better, to be honest. Like each month, I've seen a lot of improvements from him.
Like I said, if you listen and don't take it as salt or disrespect, you can improve. But if you're not gonna listen, then you're not. Like Rob Zilla, he's been telling me, hey, you need to do this with Storm. I think this will be way better for you in the long run than what you're doing. And so he's been teaching me. I've been listening to Rob Zilla. I've been trying to work on the float cross up with Storm. After a hard knockdown, if you come down floating, you can like jinx them, and then you can do a little mix up. He's been telling me to modify air dash, call the assist, modify dash to get, put more layup pressures. Then you can do high and low. He's been, telling me how to guard break with Storm, what's a good way, or a cross up guard break with Storm.
And that's where we bring to the Texas Showdown 2024 when he was teaching you all those tips and tricks, huh?
Yeah, he was telling me a lot what to do, where I can improve and all that, because he knows, like, man, he's been telling me, I'm good and
nice
and all that, and I appreciate that. And I respect him because he's also a high level caliber player.
Well, he is
from from Hawaii. He's been top 8 before in the old days, and obviously he also does top 8 when he enters tournaments when he can. So, listening to a lot of players that also have a lot of experience, that's why I do my best to listen. Like, even Tone, said he had to play lame to win against me.
Okay.
Yeah, he won by timeout. And then I think he won by a pixel also. So we
this was in Texas Showdown 2024?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Right. And you get to reach top 8.
Yep.
With this event.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy on the performance with Kodiak. Who
won against you, Kodiak? Was it Kodiak or you?
So Tone took me to the losers, and then
you played Kodiak.
Then I played.
Oh wait, Buck Nasty. You played Buck Nasty first.
Yeah, it was a close one, but I didn't like the monitor.
The performance. Oh, the monitor.
Yeah, it was. I felt really, really
weird,
delayed.
Oh, so there was a delay. Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's why like Tone wanted to play on his monitor when we played it, because we're playing on his setup.
Okay.
And then when we played on that one, we knew it was like, it was because Tone had to play a little differently as well, because of how it was bad. And like even like Kodiak was shocked because I think he 3-0'd me, and when we were playing in the room, it wasn't going like his favor. We were going.
You mean the Airbnb?
Yeah, not in the Airbnb. We played a little bit in the room before Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I had a room in my hotel room. You know what I'm saying? So, but we were playing there for a bit before going to the Airbnb, and and then he 3-0'd me, and I wasn't happy because I was dropping combos. I was dropping the ROM, and I'm like, what the heck, man? I don't drop ROMs. You know what I'm saying? But it happened, so he was just like, wow, you did like. You should have beaten me, and I'm like, it is what it is, man. And I like, I like you won fair and square, but in my mind, like, I think I could have done better. Maybe he would have won, or maybe I would have won, if there was no lag at the end of the day. But it was just like,
damn.
That's why Tone said next year, I think he's gonna bring more setup, so we don't deal with the lag.
Yeah, I gotta back that up because Goforbroke never dropped the wrongs. Yeah, he's like one of the most consistent. I never see him drop wrongs once at all.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually I gotta find my box, but because I drive to Texas, obviously I drive to Texas, so I don't mind bringing some setups. The only thing is I want to protect my stuff when I travel.
So what's causing it that it makes a lag on your gameplay?
A millisecond. It could be a 2 milliseconds delay refresh rate on it. You know what I'm saying? So when you press a jab button, it takes about 2 milliseconds to respond. But it's really 2 milliseconds is not much of a difference. But when you're executing, it adds up, and then you're like, it kind of throws off the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
Okay.
So you lost to Tone and Buck Nasty in Texas Showdown?
No, not Buck Nasty. Kodiak.
Oh, Kodiak. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But Buck Nasty, I think it was 3-2. 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. It was a
Yeah.
close match, but
Yeah,
yeah, you
correct.
took it.
Yeah, because at the Salty room, it was a whole different gameplay between all of them that I played. It was, I was just like in my zone. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh-huh.
it was a better responsive monitor.
Mm.
I had my monitor as well,
Mhm.
and it was good. It was pretty smooth. So I was just playing comfortable.
You remember who were there in the Airbnb? Kodiak,
Kodiak,
Buck
Tone,
Nasty.
Bug Nasty, Turtle Power, Jake Klops, I think. Then we had what's his name? Hilton.
Oh, Hilton was there too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hilton was there, our BDO,
Mince.
Mince, Sergio.
Man.
What
Jim,
about
obviously.
that guy who got second place, the MST player? Just because I played that team. Is
Was
he
his
like
name PMS or something?
Yeah, PMS. I think I didn't get to
Yeah.
play him.
Is he a Texas player?
Yeah, I think he is.
I think
Dallas. He's from Dallas.
Ah,
Yeah.
I never seen him
yeah.
play before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some hidden talents here in Texas, so anyway, so would you come back next year for Texas Showdown?
Since it's March, it's 80% yes.
Mm.
Because I also want to go to Fight Kingdom.
Fight Kingdom, yeah.
But depending how Evo... See, if I buy my tickets right now, I think it'll be cheaper right now if I buy the Texas Showdown tickets.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did they already posted the date for the event?
Yes, the date is already
Yeah.
ready. I'm like, holy crap, it's so early.
Yeah,
I think
March,
they're trying to. I think they're
March
trying
28th to
to.
30th.
They're trying to not get conflict with Fight Kingdom.
Oh, I didn't even think to look.
Because this year, Texas Showdown and Fight Kingdom, I think they're like a week.
Like a weekend
right?
back to back.
Yeah, it was a week apart.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't go that year. I mean this year, so maybe next year.
But I'm
should.
waiting for I might go only because my brother's there. He lives in Austin, but
Oh, Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the next session
he didn't go.
we have, you might want to go.
Yeah, he didn't go this year because he's saving up money for a car, which he bought and everything.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but and plus he didn't have no PTO. He said.
Oh yeah, PTO.
But,
That's
yeah.
always the concern.
Yeah, I don't have PTO
for most of us,
and I still take days off.
Oh well, good on you, man.
I'll sacrifice not getting paid. End of the day, it's either you get paid or you don't get paid.
Well, as long as you got savings, then you should be good.
Exactly.
But if you're broke, then go for broke.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's how it works for me. Go for broke.
Is that how you come up your name, or did you get it from like Street Fighter Alpha reference?
Alpha, like I said, because Alpha was the one that, go for broke. iMatch Buttons was given by a viewer back then as well.
See, we should have asked that first.
Yeah, about the name, how you
got the name,
because when I was playing Marvel 2 constant on stream on PlayStation, I think the limit was 100 or 200 friends or whatever, I don't remember, and I was like, chat, what name should I come up for my name? And then a lot of people were like giving me names, and then one sticked out and they put iMatch Buttons, and I was like, you know what? I like this name. So then I started going with iMatch Buttons as my second name.
Yeah, it sounds like super scrubby to hear, but then again, you're really good.
Yeah. So a lot of people know me by Broke, and a lot of people know me by Buttons. And then other games community, I go by iMatch Keyboards when it comes to PC games.
Nice.
Like StarCraft or first person.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so now we're down to the last event, which is the Evolution 2024. How did you do with this tournament, bro?
Oh, you're cutting off on my end.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit, Trunks.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
You're. Yeah. What was that again? You said?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we were. Our next topic right now is about the Evolution 2024. How did you do with this tournament?
Well, the Evolution 2024. I'm not gonna say much details because it's more of a sensory. So
Okay.
I it just in regards about staffing and all that. So I don't want to throw them out there.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't have to.
So yeah,
Whatever is safe for you, buddy.
But I'll just talk a little bit about it. Obviously, it was poorly at Evo. For the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 department. Shout out to Preppy again. Preppy always doing the work for the old school games. But just the way it was announced and how to register, I didn't know that it got switched. Because back then it was by Vortex Gallery, but then this year they went with Tampa Never Sleeps. And all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, other than that, that's for me, I wasn't even supposed to be in it. Obviously, as you guys know, you guys seen I was going under a name called Michaela. And, so.
Why is it Michaela? Is that a.
Well, like I said, I won't go too deep. I won't.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
carry on.
Yeah, only 2 people knows because of why, but they couldn't. They kept saying the wrong name on stream, so hopefully they don't get in trouble down the road. Because Evo is strict. I'll just say that you're not supposed to play as someone else. So
I see.
You can't play as someone else. You will you can get in trouble. You can get banned from the event. So,
for good.
Yep, for good. So that's why when I was playing, I was telling them to call me by Michaela at that time. Instead of calling me by Broke.
Yeah.
But other than that, the event was, like I said, I went there for Third Strike. Unfortunately, for Evo 2024, I was not there for Marvel 2. I tried to sign up, but I didn't know where the sign up was. But I was only signing up for the fun of it. I was not going there to play seriously. I was not going there to do well, because when my mission with my friends, because like I said, we were playing a lot Third Strike, our mission was to do well in qualifying of getting out the first day of pool.
Yep.
So for me, Evo 2024 was just for fun, and and I brought my laptop. I even said I will stream it if I have time. Luckily, I was able to stream it because I did get out of the pool and I was done, and I was able to stream it. And shout out to Andy Doom for sponsoring the hotspot, because I was like, I'm not gonna pay $70 for the hotspot, so he put half of it, and I put the other half, so that money was towards the hotspot. Yeah, so
that's
shout
cool.
out to because I think if I wanted like a LAN cable Ethernet, I think it was like $3,000 per day.
Whoa!
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then if I wanted a better hotspot, it was like $600. So I chose like the basic hotspot, which was like $75, and it said on the bottom it's not used for streaming.
Oh shoot!
And I think
so it's pretty
like
similar
2
as the Texas Showdown you had with that bit of issue, right?
No, Texas Showdown. My hotspot was working smooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only issue I had was like I didn't have my stream set up properly. It was last minute because I just got that laptop and all that. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. So.
So I just want to ask a question about Evo in general. So you've been to like lots of Evos, right?
Been going. I went to 2013, 14. I might have went to 15. And then I think I went to 17 and 18. I did not go to 19 because of Combo Breaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The reason I asked is like I really want to go for a long time, but like it feel like it's getting so much bigger now. Do you feel like it's like overwhelming to go there, or is it manageable?
Okay.
Well, the price is the only thing you have to concern.
Okay, so I'll break it down for you guys. I'll tell you what my cost was overall for the experience. So I'm gonna pull my calculator over here.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. I love the numbers.
Give you guys the numbers. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
My ticket, if you buy last minute, the ticket you can get at cheap or expensive, right? I was on the fence of going Evo. My ticket was $450 round trip at last minute. Okay. Then we rented an Airbnb. That was $250 for. I stayed there for Wednesday through Sunday, or Wednesday through Monday checkout. So I was there for what 5 days,
so
right?
Bad.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days.
5 days.
So that's $250, and then we had to get a car rental, so another $250. So right now I'm looking at $950 altogether.
Damn.
Then my ticket cost for the event was $225.
Jesus.
So I'm now at almost $1,200. That does not include food yet. So let's talk about food. Let's say $50 per day, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking about another $250.
Yeah, for 5 days.
So now I'm at $1,425 for 5 days. That does not include activities that I've done, such as like going drinks,
Another
Uber,
collateral damage.
Yeah, I had to take Uber because their day were like, I'm not gonna go to the venue early. Yeah, because we rented a car, but they were gonna leave early in the morning, and their days were like, I was like, I'm too tired, guys. I'm gonna go. Like Sunday, I didn't go to the last day of the Evo. I was like, I'll meet you guys at Evo. I told them I was gonna meet them at the venue in the afternoon. But then, as I was like heading there, I got dropped off to a restaurant, ate, and then Lockdown messaged me and said, or not Lockdown, I think Josh messaged me and said, hey, come by the hotel, let's play Marvel. We're here. So that Sunday, I was playing at the hotel room with Lockdown, with Pasadena, with Chobo Ruin, 360, Jason.
Oh wow.
But yeah. So for 5 days for me, I'll say I was looking about 1,700 altogether, 1,700 for 5 days. But if you
just call it 2,000 even, because
yeah,
it's like there's a miscellaneous stuff here add up.
Yeah, you want to buy arcade sticks, maybe you want to buy some clothing that they have at the venue,
or some souvenir,
souvenir posters and all that good stuff. So yeah, about $2,000 altogether for 5 days. So if you think about 2,000, that means for 5 days, that's $400 per day you're spending.
You need it's like you need to save up for it. It's not like something you can just do on the weekend.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But if you do it,
but you can do it for yourself. I mean, if you get the ticket before the spike goes up, let's just say $200 for the ticket for Evo. I'll say $350 for the flight if you get it early. Maybe cheaper than that depending when you get it. Sometimes you can get it for $100 round trip. I've seen it before. So you can be looking at about right now $600 for the flight and the ticket. Obviously, maybe cheaper than that.
Hotel
and
stay.
then you don't have to stay at the hotel
Or
close to the venue.
Mm-hmm.
It's recommended, but some hotels, you know, you can get hotels at $70 a night. You know what I'm saying, or $80 a night.
Oh, not so bad.
Yeah, there are hotels.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, there's hotels that you can get it for like $80 a night. You know, you don't have to stay on those like the one that people tells you to stay on. You got to stay at the Caesar, at the Palace.
Oh no, I don't think I'm ever gonna. I don't think I ever gonna stay those. It's too expensive.
Yeah, you can stay in those motels, and then I thought Uber was gonna be expensive when I chose not to go with my friends early, but it only cost me where I was staying at to the venue. It only cost me like $15 for Uber.
Oh, nice.
So plus tips, you know, I look about $23 for the Uber, so $40 round trip if I decide to take Uber. You know, so it wasn't bad at all. You know, so but it was, but if you save up, if you know that Evo is gonna be next year on July or August, you have a whole year to save yourself $300 per month. You know, a year of $300, you save yourself you save yourself about $3,600.
There you go. Financial advice from Uncle Goforbroke. You gotta listen.
Oh yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah, you know, and then you split the cost with the hotels. You know, that's even dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, $250 for those suite that I stayed at the Airbnb, it was worth it. I had my own room, I had my own bathroom. We had it was a big house. You know, we had a living room, we had a full kitchen, we had a laundry where we can wash our clothes. You know, so I'd rather do that. I'd rather get with comfortable friends.
Yep. Then
and get an Airbnb and say, hey, let's get an Airbnb. Then get a hotel where you're like sharing 2 beds per person.
Yeah, I agree.
Now with this generation, I feel like Airbnb is the best choice.
It's actually practical, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be a little bit pricey, but if you get,
but being comfort, you know, that's the most important thing.
If you get a friends, because sometimes Airbnb it's $120 a night, $130 a night. If you think about $130 a night, you know, that's like, and it's like, how many bedrooms? Oh, 3-4 bedrooms.
Yeah, that's
4
not
people,
bad.
130. You divide it by that, you're like, oh crap, $130. That's basically $35 a night with my friends over here at this Airbnb. So, the only expensive is the ticket, the flight. That's it. Hotel costs, you split it with your friends, it's really cheap, dirt cheap.
But
rental cars, it's dirt cheap as well.
But the actual event, do you feel like it's money well spent to go to Evo? Because like that's like for you, like you only go there for Third Strike and Marvel, not the main games. But do you feel like you still get to experience the whole event?
Not the event. Nope.
No.
I don't. No, just the game itself.
Yeah.
Not the event. See, compared to years ago, I enjoyed Evo. It was a whole community. Now it's like we get our own little room and we're there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more now. Evo's more of a convention now. It's all about.
That's what I was trying to get that. Like how the feeling is, because like fighting game Marvel is like grassroots, but it does it feel more like now it's like or like just a convention, you know?
Yeah. If you want experience for the games you love, support other major tournaments. An example.
That's right.
Texas Showdown, Fight Kingdom, NEC, Defend the North. All these tournaments that are dedicated for the game itself, for the community itself, support it. But
That's
if you're
right.
gonna go to these, Evo, yes, it's a good tournament back then. Now, it is a good tournament, but it's not the experiment or the environment of how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's what I want to know. Cause
I'll say this though, because I went there for Third Strike this year. I had fun playing the game and competing, but as the event itself, I was not enjoying it too much because it was too wide. It wasn't like, crowded.
But how does it feel? Oh, sorry if I
No.
bothering you. But how does it feel to be one of the top 8 with Marvel?
For the past this year, for Texas Showdown and obviously Evo, it feels good because you don't know who you're gonna go against, and all this atmosphere feels different at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have always that mindset of, oh, this is gonna be easy. Like I said, I thought my bracket was gonna do well at Third Strike. I was gonna fly colors, but that guy from Chile just destroyed me, and it put me in a whole different mindset. It's like, oh man, I gotta get out of this pool. And it's the same thing with Marvel. There are a lot of players that you don't see play online that are good because they're not the guy that likes to play online. They're more like, I'm an offline guy. Offline is my route. I'd rather play offline than online because online gives you this mentality of what's comfortable, but it doesn't work offline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really agree on that one.
Because you got rollback and it helps you. So, so that's why it's just like, try not to always be like, oh, I do so well online, but
offline is so different.
Yeah,
and
you gotta go to a physical event to see how you actually do.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's where some people would give more respect to you because you show up to those events,
Correct.
Yeah. So now we're down to the closing statement. So generally speaking, what can you say to our dear listeners about your impression towards am I?
Yeah, you're cutting off again.
That's so weird. Is it the Discord that's having an issue?
I don't know. You're like clip, and then you're just like you're cutting off.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to be a little bit closer. All right. So for our closing statements, what can you say to our dear listeners about your impressions towards this game and to the community? And is there a difference between Oh yeah, we've already discussed about that.
Yeah,
Offline and online. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you want to listen to everybody that tells you what you're doing wrong, right? You want to listen to the community. You don't want to be ignorant, arrogant. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like, whatever.
Yeah, that guy.
Online and offline, it's their own world. Online, you can get away with a lot than offline. Been there, seen it in my experience, because I've been going to a lot of tournaments since 2013.
Ever since that
even before then, to major tournaments, watching and seeing how people plays. But overall, I feel like as long as you put your mind into it and you don't discourage yourself, you can do well.
Yeah, that's a great advice.
That's good advice. Sometimes you beat yourself up before you even actually play. You just gotta
get burnt out. Just
you might lose. You might go 0-2. That does not mean it's the end of the day or the world for you and your fighting game or any games. I feel like you can improve. You can watch the replays. Obviously, you can always have your friend record your matches. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you see a lot of players recording, it's because they're not just recording for memories, but they're recording to study their footage to
And analyze.
analyze what they did wrong. They're not there like, oh, let me pull my camera, let me record my homeboy over here. Nah, he's recording.
He's studying his opponent's gameplay and what you need to improve on. What's your strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, because last year at Texas Showdown, when I went against Justin Wong in Third Strike, I asked my friend to record so I can see what I'm doing wrong and why I was losing against, Justin Wong. Obviously, Justin Wong is good, but I was like, I could see what I was doing wrong at the end of the day. It wasn't just because he was Justin Wong. And I'm going to be like, oh, look, I'm going against Justin. No, I want to see the footage and see what I can do to improve myself on this mashup. You know what I'm saying? And it's same thing for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you want to record yourself at a local tournaments, just bring a tripod and record yourself and see what you're doing wrong and see, oh man, maybe I should snap this character. It was on red health and could have lost all that health if I snap instead of trying to go for the kill on the point characters, because sometimes if you don't snap back, that character that's bleeding can come back to you and haunt you in so many ways. Even a pixel Magneto can come back, So don't ever get too comfortable and say, this character only has 2% health. I don't need to bring him back or bring her back. You make sure you bring that character back and kill it, because you seen videos where Justin, Josh, GIPES, they all make comebacks on
huge comebacks.
With little pixels. So it's just a matter of you understanding that you need to take advantage of it. Don't try to be flashy.
Yeah, and whatever happens, try not to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think watching your video for your own play is also being really just honest to yourself. Try not to blame anything else when you actually see what you did wrong. That you can't just blame other people or anything else. You have area you can improve on and you can see it.
Yeah, and you'll see, like, man, yeah, you're right. I do more of this on you than I do this on that. You know what I'm saying? You're more likely to snap this person more than you more likely to snap the other player, because you're comfortable. You're like, I don't need to snap back this player. But it might bite you one day, that player, and be like, oh crap, he level up. Like I said a while back, X Prominence, I used to be like, rush him down and let him get to play. But now, I gotta respect. I gotta respect his Iron Man. I gotta respect his Strider. I gotta respect his little Akuma. You gotta respect them, because now these players, they level up and they're stepping it up. So don't, just because you destroy them many years ago does not mean they have not leveled up.
I was beating X Prominent like 6 months ago. Now I can't. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. He's a fast learner. Like, really fast. All right, so now, come and show some support for Goforbroke social platform. He has a Twitch channel if you guys want to see some of his highlights.
All right, you're cutting off one more time on us again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, get really close to the microphone, Trunk.
I am already close, to be honest.
Okay, now you're better. So what was your question again?
Okay, so all right, let's do this again. So come and show support for Goforbroke social platform. You can also catch him on Twitch, where you can watch some of his way back stream, including some of the highlights. And then you can find him on YouTube as Goforbroke. And he also has a Twitter or X. So, yeah. Go support our boy.
Yeah. I don't use too much of Twitter, so if people want to watch Twitch, it's going to be Goforbroke, and if they want to do YouTube, it's X Goforbroke X.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's it. Sometimes I'll post on Instagram, which is I mash buttons. But other than that, yeah, Twitter, I don't mess with it too much. I just see what people are posting for any fighting games. I'll go ahead and just retweet if I can. If not, then yeah.
Yeah, and you guys can also catch him on Discord channels too, or including the Marvel. This is Marvel Discord. So if you want to learn MSP or any character or any advice, he's there to help you out. So
always will.
Yo,
he's
Go
just
for broke, Alex.
Yeah,
I just want to say, it's a huge honor to have you here on this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning about you guys as well. I know, I met you this year.
At Texas Showdown.
Our hearts at all yet. So hopefully down the road I get to meet you.
Oh,
whether
we certainly
it's at
will.
Evo or Fight Kingdoms or random fighting game tournament.
Yeah, I'll try to make it out to all the majors next year.
Hey, even if it's once, come out to a major.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
next year I'll be going to a major, but not this year. So I'm trying to save up for next year.
Yeah, and hey, like I said, just if you have a group of friends, plan ahead and you guys can make it possible.
Yeah, you gotta listen
absolutely.
to Goforbroke's financial advice. Just save every month.
No, don't listen to me now. I'm just kidding. I can give a little pointer here and there, but I feel like if you put your mindset, you can make it happen. If it's not about being alone, because at the end of the day, this is a community. We can all gather around and say, hey, how can we? There are people, other states that will house you. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, yo, you can crash at my place. I done where friends come over here to Atlanta and they're like, yo, I need a place to crash. Yo, crash here for 1 day or 2 days, and then we can get a room and we can play Marvel and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
that sounds like a plan. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and we'll be seeing you next episode. So have a good one, guys. Stay safe.
All right, thank you.
Take it easy,
All right,
guys.
see ya. Bye.